Music Access. We have a lot of MA family members who are pet owners, right? And I bet a lot of you might have given up sleeping in on Sunday morning because of your cute puppy or kitten wagging his or her tail with his leash in his mouth, waiting for you to take him on a walk, right? Can you say for sure that you know exactly what your pet is trying to say to you through their actions and how much they love you although they can't talk? When a dog looks into a person's eyes without moving, it means they're saying, I love you. When they yawn when you do, it means they trust you that much. And when they stay still when you leave the house, when they sleep by your side, and when they love being affectionate to you, these are all actions that come from deep trust in you. But talking about all this, can't you see why dogs are called man's best friend? We can tell they love us and trust us completely, although they can't say a single word. And this actually goes both ways, because it's definitely a mutual relationship. The first song you heard today, Sunday, January 24th, 2016, was I Really Want It by A Great Big World. What's up, guys? It is Sunday, which means, did you guys sleep in? Are you guys at church? What are you guys doing right now? How was your weekend yesterday? Did you spend a good Saturday? Whatever the case may be, if you have more weekend plans that you want to share, weekend stories that have already happened, or stuff coming up later for today that you want to talk about, go ahead and put those up on our message board, and we'll get to those when we can. Of course, introducing our Sunday corner, it's called Scribble Scribble. It's a corner for you to think freely and just doodle out your thoughts. If you've ever wanted to send in a message for Music Access and been kind of a little bit hesitant, just consider Sunday like a practice round. It's a chance to be honest to yourself and think about what was hard, what was embarrassing, or just share whatever random thought is in your head. Share with us by writing Scribble on your title. Now here's how you can listen and participate on Arirang Radio. If you have a smartphone, you can download the Arirang Radio app or TuneIn Radio app to listen to our programs and send in your messages. And if you use a computer, just visit www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess to listen to us or leave your messages. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. And of course, some requests. I've been getting a lot of great compliments about our playlist, and I think it all comes from you guys. So make sure to keep those song requests coming in non-stop by posting up your requests on our message board under the title Request. Now we'll check out two songs before we dive into Scribble Scribble, starting with the song Bad Blood by Taylor Swift, followed with Maps by Maroon 5. I want to be with you, and if you feel the same, shall we meet here? Will you tell me your story? If you're shy, you can playfully scribble scribble, and if you don't know where to start, you can start with the doodle and scribble scribble. Good job, that's how we'll begin our story. I wanna be with you. Our Sunday corner Scribble Scribble is just that. This corner's for you to think freely and just doodle out your thoughts. It's a chance for you to be honest to yourself and think about what was hard, what was embarrassing, what was a proud moment, etc. from the past week or whenever. Go ahead and share with us by writing Scribble Scribble on your title. Now let's go to our first message for today for Scribble Scribble, which comes from Siska Andriani of Indonesia, saying, Hi Benji, so I landed in Seoul for the first time 4 years ago. Then I wanted to visit Arirang Radio too. Why? Because Korea is one of my dream destinations and I'm a fan of Arirang Radio too. But Benji not yet being a DJ in 2012 and 2014, means I need to go back to Arirang and see Benji with all of Pablo 6's family. So, the way I will sort of rephrase this is, Siska came to Korea for the first time 4 years ago, and also dropped by in 2014, so 2 years ago. And she also stopped by Arirang Radio, because of course she's a fan of Arirang Radio. But of course, because I was not a DJ at the time, in 2012, I just started becoming a trainee. In 2014, it was the year we were getting ready to debut, but technically, we weren't really doing anything on radio. So now 2016, of course, you gotta stop by, see me with all of Pablo 6. And, of course, especially, you got to enjoy the time that you have. I gotta say, when it comes to radio, one of the things that is both enjoyable and at the same time a little bit kind of, what's this term I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of it in English, or in Korean, but I think it's a little bit kind of like, that's my expression that I'm going to use, is, we only have 2 hours. If we had more than 2 hours, then maybe we could, do some more stuff, talk more with each other, maybe even have like a live chat stream going for our radio. But, we're not an internet broadcast, like Africa TV or something like that. We're very much focused on getting your messages, reading them on the air, putting out great music. And so, hopefully you guys are enjoying the radio as it is. Remember, if you guys have any comments, any questions you want to ask me, go ahead and post those up on our message board. And Siska, I will be eagerly waiting for you to come to Korea, whether it's me at Arirang Radio or me as a part of BIG. I'll be eagerly waiting to see you. So make sure that when you do stop by Korea, let me know ahead of time. Now we're going to check out our songs. Before we continue on, Samantha of Australia wants to hear Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars, and Callie of France requested Jai Ho by the Pussycat Dolls. We just heard the songs Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars, followed by Jai Ho by the Pussycat Dolls, also called You Are My Destiny, from the Slumdog Millionaire OST. And, continuing on, remember guys, the memorable events that happened to you this week or whenever, don't just go over them in your head, but write down your feelings by jotting down your thoughts comfortably, just like you're doodling, and send those in to Music Access, remembering to keep your title as Scribble Scribble. Our next message comes from Unita of Indonesia, saying, Pablo 5 is always bullying me. I thought it was Pablo 6. Benji, if they say something weird, don't believe them. They're always bullying and teasing me in the group and also on the message board. I hate them, but I love them. So complicated. Ha 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 ha. Well, I think that always happens, especially, when it comes to our friends, especially our best friends. I've mentioned this before on radio. They tease you a lot. That's why they're your best friends, because they say whatever they want, and you know that they're not really serious. So, I'm sure that, they're doing it in good fun. So don't worry about it too much. Y'all be chill. Okay. Continuing on with more great music, Annie of Australia's requested track, Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney, and Siska of Indonesia's requested track, Best Friend by Jason Mraz. We just heard the songs Beautiful Soul by Jesse McCartney, followed by Best Friend by Jason Mraz, and it's time for our next message, which is from Leontio from Singapore, and it's kind of a response to why Pablo 5 teased Unita. It says, we tease Unita because she likes you, but she's too shy to admit it. I'm sure you feel the love from her every day, right? She listens every day without fail, even on Saturday and Sunday. You're her number one vitamin, like she always says, and if you're lonely or need a partner, you know who to ask, right, Benji? Yeah, of course. I will ask our writer and our PD님. Ha ha ha. Jokes aside, though. But see, Unita, like I said, so we just read Unita's message about how they were teasing her a lot. Yeah, they're your friends. They know why. You know why they're teasing you. And, guys in Pablo 5, I know you like to tease her because, I do know that she really loves listening to Music Access. And, tease her, but of course, with a grain of salt. Don't overdo it. Keep it on a good level. And, of course, I'm sure she'll appreciate all that good kind of friendly atmosphere, I think especially when we're friends, sometimes one of the things that we can forget is how, we we sometimes don't consider our friends' feelings. We feel that they're just always going to be there. But then, I think there's moments where we do need to respect that feeling and understand, the emotions that are there. So, everyone in Pablo 6, respect each other's feelings. Not that you're not doing it already, but also be a little bit sensitive to each other. Alright, so we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on. Barawan of Turkey wants to hear Wetoria by CM Blue, and Kirinhe of Thailand requested Not Temune by After School. We just heard the songs Wetoria by CM Blue, followed by Not Temune by After School. I don't know if you caught that, but at the very end, that's actually Brave Sound. That was the original kind of, because now, when AOE does it, it goes like, AOE Braves now, and because I listen to all this stuff. But, originally, a long time ago, that was the thing. So our next message comes from Richie Manolastis from the USA, saying, "What's up, Benji? So, not only was my first day back at school this past Thursday, but also my first day back in the gym after a month. A goal of mine for 2016 is to go to the gym more often to stay both healthy and to de-stress, but all I need is to make sure I push myself even when I'm at my laziest state." Totally understand that. Especially when B.I.G. used to go to the gym. This is backstory of B.I.G. that probably not a lot of people know. We used to go to the gym, and we'd have to go there, I think, at 8 a.m. in the morning or something to train and work out. But it's not like we had personal trainers, but we just kind of did whatever we could to the best of our ability, which was not really that effective at the time. It was very, just we worked in pairs working out and all that stuff, and it was fun, and, our bodies got a little bit better. But really, you've got to be dedicated to that stuff, guys. If you really want to, in K-pop, you see the guys with 6-packs, and you see, all this stuff like that. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you have a 6-pack. And, everyone in K-pop that's, showing off their killer abs or whatever, or their, 11 abs or whatever, probably worked really hard to make that happen. Whether they're dancing a lot so their core muscles are really strong, or, they're just working out like crazy and eating on a special diet. They've all worked really hard for their bodies. So, guys, make sure to appreciate when people in K-pop show off their awesome, rockin' fitness abs, or whatever the case is for guys and girls. I mean, now is not, the season for that. But in the summer, some dude's gonna, show off his 6-pack in a music video, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. And that guy could be me. But it probably won't be. I have a 99.99% sure that it's not going to be me. Anyways, on that note, good luck with your workouts, Richie. And we're going to check out 2 songs. Leontio of Singapore wants to hear Alive by Vix. And Unita of Indonesia requested 4 Walls by FX. We just heard the songs Alive by Vix, followed by 4 Walls by FX, and it's time to end our first hour. After a quick break, we'll continue on with Scribble Scribble in the second hour. We'll come back after checking out the song that Anne-Sophie of Malaysia wants to hear, Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. You're listening to Music Access with me, Benji of B.I.G. Our first song starting off the second hour of our show for Sunday, January 24th was Oh Love by Green Day. Here's how you guys can listen and participate. If you haven't already been following along, go ahead and tell all your friends that they can download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on a smartphone. And you can also send us messages through the app using the comment function. Y'all can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. Now we're going to check out 2 songs before we continue on with our program, starting with the song Air Balloon by Lily Allen, followed with Amnesia by 5 Seconds of Summer. We just heard the songs Air Balloon by Lily Allen, followed by Amnesia by 5 Seconds of Summer. Y'all are listening to the second hour of Music Access for Sunday. Of course, continuing on from our first hour, our Sunday Corner Scribble, which is just like using Music Access as a big notepad. Just as you jot down your ideas, thoughts, and what's been on your mind without thinking much on a notepad, go ahead and send your thoughts into us here so we can all share. It'll be your messages filling up this corner, so feel free to jot down anything and everything on what's on your mind. Continuing on, our first message for our second hour is a message about B.I.G.'s performance in Japan from the previous weekend, saying, Mika of Japan saying, B.I.G. and Benji's performance in Japan was awesome. I wish I could have been there. I hope I can be there next time. I'll be waiting in Osaka. You know, there are a lot of yummy foods in Osaka, right? Well, I went to Osaka on a trip with my parents 3 years ago or something. And it was a very, very fun experience. I remember, like, our hotel, if I remember correctly, it was just, like, on the side of, in the row of buildings. But then you took a cab to, like, the main kind of eating area. And there's, like, a huge strip mall. Like, this place is crazy big. It's huge. It's ginormous. And then outside of that, you have a whole lot of, izakayas, places to get sushi. There's so much just like stuff to do. There was a giant mechanical crab on top of the front of one of the restaurants, which was super awesome. So, of course, if I do get a chance to go back there at some point, that'll be super, super awesome, because y'all know that I love food. And I do love food of many different countries. I love Korean food, American food, Indian food, Thai food, Italian food, French food. I like all the foods. But especially, in Japan, because it's so close, why not get authentic Japanese food in Japan while you're there? So hopefully, if we do get a chance to go to Osaka, we will definitely stop by. And even if we don't, maybe you should come up to Tokyo. If we do end up going to Japan and Tokyo anyways. Anywho, thank you for your message, Mika. And hopefully you'll be able to catch a B.I.G. performance soon. Now we're going to check out 2 songs. Continuing on with our program, Rebecca of Bangladesh has requested track Sing For You by EXO. And we'll follow it with Cupid by Kara. We just heard the songs Sing For You by EXO, followed by Cupid by Kara. Continuing on with Scribble, introducing your guys' messages and thoughts. Our second message comes from Anne-Sophie from Malaysia, saying, My purple notebook is not working well. Just sent it in for repairs. Really hope it can get fixed soon. Do you remember what you first downloaded on your notebook, Benji? Was it software or computer games? Let's see. When I first got my very first laptop, it was the Fruit laptop, and I needed it for college, I believe. And the first thing that I really downloaded on that was the word processing applications that I'd need. The presentation kind of formats and programs that I'd need to download on that. And then I messed around with the camera on that computer, because it was, at the time, it was huge to have, a front camera on your computer. It was super fun. So I took a bunch of pictures. And then, of course, I downloaded games. I was a huge gamer growing up. I wasn't so, like, a huber, like, oh my gosh, I'm a hardcore gamer. Not like that, but, I played a lot of video games growing up. I was super into the game with the 3 triangles that form to make one big triangle. Of course, all the, the famous characters, the red plumber, we've got the giant monkey, of course, the army games that are very popular. I just played a lot of games growing up, and that's probably why my eyes are not that good. But it's okay, because that's why we have lenses and glasses. But besides that, I just remember just staying up late playing those games, and, my computer overheating, and I kept, like, just getting super into it, because it's a very different experience playing on a console versus playing on a computer. And so, and I know there's some of you who may be listening to the broadcast right now who are saying, really, you played computer games on that Fruit computer? And yeah, you can. It's a very different experience, and, obviously you can get better, gaming-suited computers, but that's not why I bought the computer in the first place. Now, the computer that I have now, it's more focused on music and all that stuff, so These are the things that you kind of evolve through. If you have had a laptop or a notebook before and have upgraded, see what's on your new notebook and compare it to what was on your old notebook. I'm sure you'll be able to find a few key differences, and that'll definitely also show to yourself a little bit of how you've changed over the years. So, I hope that answers your question. It was software, followed immediately by computer games. Now we're going to check out 2 more songs as we continue on. Jenny of the USA wants to hear Let Me Know by BTS, and we'll follow it with Oh Ah Yeah by Mamamoo. We just heard the songs Let Me Know by BTS, followed by Oh Ah Yeah, which, no matter how many times I hear it, is still an awesome track. Continuing on with our next message, we do have Sarah from the USA saying, "Thank you for your broadcasting advice this past Wednesday. I did my broadcast earlier that day, and even though there were some technical difficulties at the beginning, it went really well and it was really fun. I even had 7 listeners. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I didn't expect to have any at all. I can't wait to do it again next week. Thank you again, Sarah." So, for those of you who may not be filled in on the situation, Sarah sent in a message saying that she was doing her first radio broadcast, and she asked for some advice, and so I said, I gave her some advice, both based on personal experience and some that I, listened from radio from when I was in the States. And, I'm great. I'm happy that you had that many listeners, and I'm sure that will expand. Like I mentioned that day as well, it's really all about the content and the way your voice carries. A lot of radio there is no camera. At Arirang, sometimes we're lucky enough to have the camera on so you can see what I'm doing. But sometimes it's just you and your voice. And then you really have to focus on how to make your voice sound appealing to a lot of people without sounding too monotone. And that in itself takes a lot of time. For me as well, when I first started, I remember being very nervous. And so if I was reading a sentence such as, it's your message is filling up this corner, so feel free to just jot down what's on your mind. I say, it'll be your messages filling up this corner, so feel free to just jot down what's on your mind. Is how I would say it now with a little bit of tone inflection. But when I first started out, I was a little more like, it'll be your messages filling up this corner, so feel free to just jot down what's on your mind. It's a little less interesting, and to the listeners as well. I feel like having a little bit more tone inflection, and of course, using a little bit more of that kind of the chest, the kind of deeper side of your voice, is definitely helps a lot. Rather than having a really high voice and speaking like this all the time, which can get a little bit kind of piercing to the ears in a certain way. Keeping your tone level while having certain pitches and intonations really can lead to a good broadcast. Especially, I learned a lot from watching Isak as well. Sam, Stephanie, all these DJs, One Kind when he was here a long time ago. Just watching them and seeing them do radio really kind of, it really kind of helped myself develop as well. So, I'd recommend, besides me as well, if you want to, improve your radio skills, listen to either the program before or the program after. But, of course, as always, don't forget to show love to Music Access. Okay, now we're going to check out 2 more songs. Shreya of Bangladesh wants to hear Shadow by Chansal the Legend, and it will follow it with Yuriguso Glass Bead by 여자친구. We just heard the song Shadow by Chansal, followed by Yuriguso Glass Bead by 여자친구 or G-Friends. And it's time for our next message, which comes from Dragon from the USA, saying, "Hey Benji, how are you? It's been cold around here, and I like it that way. How about you? Do you like the cold? I love the cold because I've been to more cold states than hot states. I love to go out in short sleeves and no jackets when I walk outside. Anyways, wait, why would you love the cold then if you like wearing short sleeve shirts? Anyways, I wear a pretty lightweight black jacket, sneakers, a short sleeve shirt inside my jacket. Okay. By the way, I'm doing great if you're going to ask. Cool. So you're doing great. Awesome. And keep up that fashion. I guess I didn't quite understand the message, but I guess you like the cold, which is why you enjoy feeling the cold breeze. If I'm wrong, please send in a message telling me so. Okay, we're going to check out 2 more songs. Coming With You by Neo, followed by Worth It by Fifth Harmony featuring Kid Ink. And it's time to wrap up our weekend shows. Our last song for today is See You Again by Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth. This was Benji of B.I.G. Everyone, continue to have a great weekend, and as always, I'll be back.